As you can tell by the title itself, in this video I'm bringing you the Season 8 Episode 3 leaked script. I have to warn you that this script does match with the Season 8 outline I'd received and shared with you as well as with all the Season 8 leaked photos. So before we continue, keep it in mind that this might be an actual Season 8 script. So let's just jump into it. First, we have this scene from Winterfell after the battle is over. It says Jaime is walking over ash and snow-covered ground. Winterfell is still burning. Lifeless bodies everywhere. I gotta stop right there to say that this matches with the leaked outline. There it says that Winterfell is on fire caused by all the fire arrows that living used to kill whites. Winterfell being on fire has also been confirmed by a bunch of leaked photos from Season 8 Winterfell set. The script continues with Jaime approaching Jon and Tyrion. In case you haven't seen the leaked plot I shared a couple of months ago, Jaime has in this very same episode just arrived at Winterfell. And not only that, but he's arrived at the last moment when the living side at Winterfell used all the forces they had and then what's left of them stood no chance to emerge victorious. At that moment, two hooded men entered the gates of Winterfell, outflanking the army of the dead. These two hooded men turned out to be Jaime and Bran, followed by the Lannister Frey Tully army led by Edmure Tully. Basically, in the first two episodes of Season 8, Jaime went to Riverrun to rally the Lannister forces that were sent to the Riverlands to ensure peace, and while he was at it, he probably told Edmure about the danger that his nieces and nephews are facing. Edmure Tully likely rallied the Riverlands and joined Jaime on his march north. The Riverlands include the Frey soldiers as well, who now that their lords have been killed have most likely switched their allegiance to Edmure. Anyways, let's continue with the script. It says Tyrion regards Jaime but not speak. Jaime says seems we have arrived at the right time. We have won. Did we get him? Jon glances at Jaime. Tyrion answers to Jaime with the war is not won. The Night King wasn't here. The Night King wasn't here? Where then? Jaime asks. In the far south, Jon replies. Davos approaches. This catches Jaime by surprise. South? Jaime asks and continues with, what about Dany and her? Tyrion cuts Jaime off and replies to him with, Bran says the Night King flew his dragon to Dorne. He's trying to form a new army, bigger army. Dany went there with her dragons. She'll stop him. Davos notices Jon is worried for Dany. How does Bran know all that? Jaime questions, but before Tyrion could reply, Jaime has another question regarding the Night King. How does he have a dragon? Since Tyrion would need an entire episode just to explain to Jaime that the kid he tried to kill some years ago is now the Three-Eyed Raven, who can find out anything that's happened or is happening, as well as to explain how the Night King has a dragon, Tyrion simply says, it's complicated. Davos steps in front of Jaime and joins their conversation by asking, I beg your pardon, Sir Jaime, but where's the rest of Queen Cersei's forces? This cannot be all, I believe. We've heard Euron's been sailing north with the Ironborn, the Lannisters, and the Golden Company. They should have arrived by this time. Hell, they should have arrived before the battle even started. In episode 3, at a huge meeting at Winterfell, Bran shared his vision about Euron and the Golden Company sailing towards the north, which he says are coming to their aid. Anyways, Jaime replies to Davos with, this is all you'll get, I'm afraid. You see, our dear sister does not plan to help us win this war. Cersei will rather use Euron and the Golden Company to win the rest of the kingdoms while we are protecting the north. She told me herself before I finally left her. Tyrion looks to Jon. Jon smirks, nods, looks at the floor, shakes his head and begins looking at Davos. Davos glances at Tyrion. Tyrion shakes his head. What's going on here is basically all three of them knowing Bran's visions are true. He saw Euron sailing north with all the might he and Cersei have. Now Jaime informs them that Cersei does not actually plan to help them, which means Euron is coming to destroy what little of their armies is left. By Bran being the Three-Eyed Raven, people think that he knows everything that's happened or is happening, which simply is not true. To explain it better, let's take a look on how the actor who plays Bran Stark himself explained exactly how his powers work on Game of Thrones. The way Bran's power works at the moment is that he's basically got a Kindle library of the whole history of the universe, he says. He just has not read every book yet, and the old Three-Eyed Raven has sat in that tree for 1,000 years and read through every piece of history and has accessed it all. He continues with, but for now he needs people to tell him what they want him to see. That's exactly why Bran had thought Jon is a bastard after witnessing his birth, until he saw Jon's parents being married in a secret ceremony. Someone told him to check out if this happened, he accessed it and confirmed it. He does not know everything, but he can go and check it out, and I'm glad that the show will explain it next season because it has many people confused. Basically what happens in this case is that Bran saw Euron sailing with his and Cersei's armies north, and by hearing that Cersei promised to send help, he assumes they are coming to the north's aid. However, no one told Bran to go back and check out Cersei's plans that she revealed to Jaime and discussed with Euron and the leader of the Golden Company. No one told Bran to check if they are really coming to the north's aid. Anyways, the script continues with Davos rushing to the top of castle's walls. Davos looks out from the battlements towards south. Euron appears to the Ironborn, the Lannisters, and the Golden Company led by Harry. Euron is smiling, his lips are pale blue. Euron attacking Winterfell once the battle between the living and the dead ends to kill what's left of the victorious party is coming as a huge surprise, but at the same time it's also been kind of confirmed by the leaked photos. This leaked photo that was taken on Winterfell's set, we can see the dead Ironborn that would be Euron's casualties in this battle at Winterfell does seem to be confirming yet another major event of the final season. Harry Strickland, the one who attacks Winterfell with Euron, is the leader of the Golden Company. A few months after I had received the Season 8 outline, Game of Thrones casted the role of Harry Strickland for Season 8. What's happening in this part of the script is that Euron with Cersei's forces and the Golden Company attacks Winterfell after they've been weakened by the Night King's army. It says Euron is smiling and his lips are pale blue. This is something book readers know about, but the show viewers probably don't. Basically in the books, Euron's lips are pale blue because he drinks Shade of the Evening, which is a blue wine. Shade of the Evening is heavily used by the warlocks of Qarth, whose lips have turned blue by its extended use. Anyways, Euron waited for the battle between the living and the dead to end. They are here on Cersei's orders to kill what's left of the winning army. If you haven't seen the leaked plot of this episode that I shared a couple of months ago, in short, this battle will not end up good for Jon and the company. What's left of Jon and Dany's armies with the support of Jaime and Denmir's armies will give a fight, but Jon will eventually decide to end it by surrendering and offering himself as a hostage in exchange for a battle to be stopped and additional casualties avoided. There's even a leaked photo of Jon being taken hostage to King's Landing, supporting this leak even more. Additionally, this scene will take place in episode 4 as the director of that episode was seen on the set. That's just one episode after the huge battle from Winterfell, supporting this leak of Euron taking Jon a hostage even more. Let me also point out that beside matching with leaked outline and with leaked photos, these scripts also seem to match with the episode 5 leaked script, as well in which Euron and Cersei meet and discuss their marriage. Let's take a quick look at those leaked scripts. It says Cersei and Euron are having a conversation in the throne room. They are alone. Cersei sits on the Iron Throne and Euron stands before her. Euron says, "Throughout my life I've experienced many dangers. I traveled to Ashai and sailed the Smoking Sea. I walked the smoking ruins of Valyria. The most recent experience was more dangerous than all the previous ones combined. The war is won. I want what's been promised to me." Cersei replies, "The war is not won. You might have brought huge casualties to the Dragon Queen and her pet Northerner, but..." Euron interrupts Cersei and states, "What's left, if anything is left of them, does not represent a threat to the crown anymore. The war is won." Cersei replies, "But it's not. Every single soldier you and the Golden Company slew is now part of the army of the dead. The Night King's army grows stronger day by day. I promised to give you my hand the day we emerge victorious and the throne is safe, did I not?" With every Cersei spoken word, Euron grows more and more angry, but let's stop here for a moment. So Euron has allegedly defeated Jon Snow and Dany Targaryen. He claims he's won a war, and Cersei supports this claim by praising his accomplishment of defeating the, quoting, Dragon Queen and her pet Northerner. Long story short, what this leaked script seems to be claiming is that Euron, instead of bringing the Golden Company to King's Landing, has actually brought them to the north, whereupon they surprised attack Jon and Dany's forces at Winterfell and have allegedly brought massive casualties to them. The fallen Greyjoy soldiers would be those under Euron's command, or in other words, Euron's casualties. The craziest thing about this leaked script is that it could be true and might have even been foreshadowed in the previous season.
With the Iron Fleet, you own the seas. You can defeat the invaders in the east and the pretenders in the north and south.
Euron promised that with his help, she could defeat the invaders in the east and pretenders in the north and south. Euron already delivered one of his promises by defeating Yara and the Sand Snakes, and it seems that he might fulfill other parts of it as well. However, this meeting between the two in the throne room will not end up good for one of them. Leaked script of episode 5 continues by saying, Euron comes a bit closer to Cersei and says, "I'm not your stupid brother. You can't manipulate me. We had a deal to marry once the war against the crown's traitor is won. I want that war. I only want what's been promised to me." Cersei looks annoyed. She takes a deep breath and before she could answer, Euron wraps his hands about her pale white throat and starts choking the life from her. Euron says, "Where's your monster friend to protect you now, huh? Or your boyfriend brother?" Cersei tries to fight but can't do much. Cersei tries to talk but is not able to do so with Euron's hands choking her. Euron then says, "Perhaps I don't need to marry after all. All I have to do is kill you and take the throne for myself." Cersei somehow manages to whisper, "The Golden Company will kill you." Euron smiles and stops choking Cersei. He asks, "What will the Golden Company do?" Huge laughter from Euron follows, but only for a few seconds. Euron then suddenly appears to be angry again. Euron then says, "You think the Golden Company would stand against me? I'm the one who signed the contract with them. I'm the one who brought them here, and I'm the one who led them into battles. They're loyal to me, not you. Matter of fact, Homeless Harry already suggested me to overthrow you. You have no soldiers, you have no gold, you're no queen." Before Cersei could reply to that, Qyburn enters the throne room. Euron glances at the crown's maester, who nods to his queen. Cersei then goes on to say, "Thank you for all your help, Euron Greyjoy. But as of now, our allegiance is over with." Cersei nods back to Qyburn. The scene then switches to the streets of King's Landing, where people are spreading panic regarding the Night King and his army. The most intriguing part of this script is its ending. What do Qyburn and Cersei's nods mean? Is Qyburn perhaps nodding to Cersei that the mountain is ready to kill Euron on her command, or is he perhaps nodding to her that the pyromancers are ready to initiate the wildfire attack? Whatever it is, Cersei nods back to it, giving it the green light, so whatever it might be, it's going down. Fortunately, we don't need to wait for the final season to find out what's going on here, because Season 8 outline reveals it as well. Let's take a look at this particular part of the leaked outline that matches perfectly with this episode 5 leaked script. It says the next scene takes place in the Red Keep. Euron wants Cersei to fulfill her promise. He wants a wedding. Euron says that he fulfilled his part of destroying her enemies. It's time for her to fulfill her part. Cersei refuses, thanks Euron for all the support he provided and breaks their allegiance. Cersei reveals to Euron that the Golden Company have broken a contract, no longer fighting for her nor him. Cersei states that as of now her only ally is Wildfire. Cersei has Euron killed by the Mountain. Euron might meet his end later on in the season, but he will definitely be a huge problem for Jon and Dany in the first episodes. There you have guys, alleged leaked script for the third episode of the final season. This script does match with many leaked photos as well with the alleged leaked outline of the final season, only this script is far more detailed, which it should be since it's a script and not an outline. We've actually received 2 more scripts for this episode, so let me know if you'd like me to share them as well.